Tourism. Um, I want to first start off by introducing the executive. Um, so I allow them to do that for themselves. So I will start off. You guys know my name already. I am Alex Joe Thomas again, and I'm the vice president of the UWI Tourism Society. And I allow the rest to go ahead.
Good night, everyone. Thanks so much for joining. My name is Satish. I'm the president of the society.
Hi,
Good
I'm
night,
Natalia.
everyone. I'm Jamila, alumni member.
Hi, I'm Natalia. I'm one of the event coordinators.
Hi, good evening. My name is Vijaya Rambajan, and I am also one of the events coordinator.
Okay, guys. Later on, you will not be hearing from me alone. You will be hearing from our another alumni member, Carissa Alexander. So later on, you'll be hearing from her. Tonight, our guest is Miss Pereira, and she has her own business, which is if I'm not mistaken, Sper Consulting business, which is consulting on customer service and tourism. So that's our host tonight. So let's get into it, right? So um, give me 1 minute, please. Thanks. So yeah. So Miss Pereira, um, please introduce yourself and let us know your name.
Sure. Hi, everybody. My name is Stephanie Pereira. I am the owner and principal consultant at Sper Consulting, where we provide customer service training, social media management, and promotions for companies here in Trinidad. But of course, our services can be offered to persons across the region and even across the world. And I'm very excited to be here tonight and talk with the UWI Tourism Society. And well, thank you for
So
having me.
yes, Stephanie, right? Thank you. We are so glad for having you because this topic is a very interesting one, and a lot of people want interested in customer service. And in our lifetime, we experience some good customer service and bad customer service. So this is a very interesting one, right? So let's get into it, right? Um,
Okay.
how have been sorry, what have your experience been in the society as a founding member?
Okay, so in 2017, if I'm not mistaken, I would have been the treasurer on the society. That would have been the first year that they founded the society, and it was a very fulfilling experience, to say the least. It was very nice to also be on the founding team because it was our baby, our brainchild. Um, we got a lot of experience out of it. We worked very closely with our teachers to ensure we were producing something that was very good. We also got to go to different conferences. We went to one at the Hilton where we got to speak to different persons from different companies and hotels within the industry. We also got to go to a Ministry of Tourism, conference in Hyatt, where when Shamfa Kujo would have been our Minister of Tourism, and we were part of the discussions and hearing different stakeholders within the industry talk and hearing the plans for the ministry for the coming year. And it was such a great experience because, normally as students, we learn a lot in the classroom. We hear the experiences of our teachers, but we never really are a part of the conversation or to go to these things where we actually see the minister presenting and having a conversation with the different stakeholders. So I think that was something very beneficial to us. And I'm so grateful that I was able to be a part of it and learn so much through the society.
Well, I'm glad that you mentioned you guys getting to go to conferences and stuff and listen to the minister present and stuff, because right now it's in terms of us getting to go to these different conferences right now, there's none, in a sense that we are actually struggling, but we are trying to push on social media as well. But at this point in time, and I'm really glad that you mentioned it, in a sense that we want to get back to that place, right? At this point in time, right? So we are actually trying at this point in time. So what you are doing now, we would like to know what.
Okay, so currently, well, as you know, I have my own small business called Sper Consulting, and I've been lucky enough that within 2021 so far, business has been picking up, and so I have a couple of clients now, and so I work on that full time. I have a couple other projects going on that don't necessarily pertain to Sper Consulting that I'll be working on as well. Of course, I'm trying continually to learn more and more, improve myself. So I do online courses as well and try to study and learn and grow as much as I possibly can. I'm doing a lot of networking, reaching out to other companies and trying to collaborate and do different things. So there's a lot going on right now. And so Sper Consulting is a lot of what I'm doing these days.
So tell us about your experience and internship, because we know tourism majors, like the international tourism major students, we have to do an internship with one local and one international. Tell us about your internship in the Bahamas.
Okay, so of course I went to the Bahamas. I can't even describe my experience. It was so amazing. It was great. I met so many amazing people, both Bahamians, Bahamians and people from all over the world. People who worked in the hotel, people who were interns just like me. I had interns from Italy and Switzerland, St. Lucia, Jamaica. Amazing people that I'm still in touch with to this day. We worked, of course, we were learning constantly every day, and I'm so grateful that Sandals gave us this opportunity. And we had persons on property who were so invested in ensuring that we learned and help us. They were happy to answer our questions and happy to teach us so much. And I learned so much about the industry and just about life in its entirety through doing the internship. I also was afforded the opportunity to go to different islands within the Bahamas and explore and experience so many different things that, people don't get to do much of in their entire lifetime. So I'm so grateful for that as well.
Since that you mentioned your experience, right?
Mm-hmm.
For first, I'm a student myself, right? And I am trying to gather information on my internship, on how to go about organizing my internship. So how was the process like in UWI? How did the department support and assist you?
So the department really did so much for us. They really helped out. I mean, Sandals isn't the only internship that you can do. You can go out on your own and look for an international internship anywhere. You can also do a CTO internship, which is the Caribbean Tourism Organization. They have internships in Barbados and in New York. But I will speak about what I know, which is the Sandals internship. We had a coordinator who would have been our point of reference between Sandals and the students. And any questions you had, she was happy to answer. Her name was Elizabeth, but I don't think she's in the position anymore. She had a meeting with us one day, explained in lots of details exactly what we will be doing, how to go about it. And she was with us every step of the way. So whether it was your interview or just corresponding with Sandals or any questions that you had, Elizabeth was there to help you and answer them. Even while we were on internship, if you needed something, you could have just shoot an email across to Elizabeth and she was there, happy and ready to respond.
Well, I asked the question because some students are really anxious about their internship, right? So just to allay the fears of some of our students, we're really glad to hear your experience and how the department helped you out, right? So we have some photos of your experience in Bahamas, right? So when you go along, can you assist us, right? So explain this one. What is one about?
Sure. So the person taking the picture would have been our weddings manager. Her name was Sam. Then there's me, my friend from Switzerland, Evelyn, our weddings manager next to her, Kitania, and right next to her would have been the general manager of Sandals Royal Bahamian while I was there, Mr. Lucky. And this trip, what we did is what Sandals does actually is they invite the travel agents to come and spend time on property so they could see the products that they're going to be selling, because these travel agents bring in a lot of business for Sandals and beaches. And of course, we took them out on a complimentary trip, and we were the two interns chosen to go out on this trip and spend the day networking and talking and enjoying the Bahamas with these travel agents. And so we were in weddings at the time. The sales manager and the wedding manager are usually the two that have the closest relationship with these travel agents. And because a lot of people come to Sandals, of course, to get married, and sales will be a big part of bringing persons in as well. So we were able to go out and spend the day with our managers, the general manager, and all of the travel agents. It was a lovely experience. Okay, so
this one looks very interesting. Let's know.
Yes. So off, I want to say the northern coast of the Bahamas, there is a small, there are different statues in the water that you can go diving to. This particular one is the Ocean Atlas, which is the largest underwater statue I know within our region. I don't want to say in the world in case I'm wrong, but possibly I can look it up. And basically she is bending over and holding up the ocean, the weight of the, I mean, we know that the ocean is so much of the world, most of the world actually, and so she's holding up the weight of the ocean on her. And so I went swimming and I got to go diving and see her up close, and it was a lovely experience. So Compass Key and Exuma would be somewhere where people can go come off their boats, and there are sharks in the water, and it's a very well-known popular tourist attraction in the Bahamas and Exuma. I also got to actually swim with big sharks over a wreck, big shipwreck out at sea, but I didn't take pictures of that experience. But I also did get to swim with sharks here at Compass Key, which is the main attraction for tourists here.
So, swimming with sharks, right? And that's photo with sharks. So how was that experience for you?
This one, I wasn't as scared as the other experience, where we literally waited until Strout's Cove's tourists fed the fish, and then we went into the water and actually swam around with the sharks. That one I was a bit more like, oh my goodness, I'm in the ocean with these sharks and anything can happen. But I learned they're kind of like dogs in a sense that once you remain calm and they don't sense fear and they don't sense danger from you, it's okay. So I kind of calmed down. With this one, the sharks, I didn't feel like they were harmful in any way, and there were many people and children and kids in the water, so this one was less scary, but they were both really interesting to be so up close to these animals and to be in their home, because you know so many people think sharks are so bad and so scary, but really and truly this is their home, and it was nice to be in it and part of it. So this is our day trip to Blue Lagoon. The interns were treated to a day trip at not a resort, but an attraction in the Bahamas off of PI, which is Paradise Island, which is where Atlantis is. And so we got to swim with the dolphins and have an encounter. And it was, wow, it was such an experience to learn about these dolphins and learn so much about them and their habitats and what they do on a daily basis. And, you know, to get out of the hotel and the house and to do something a little different in the Bahamas with all of my intern friends. So this is not my internship, but while I was in UWI, I did take a university trip with about 5 other trainees who were all in university. They didn't have to go to UWI. They were all in universities all around the world, and we met in Rome for 1 week, and we got to explore Rome, outside of Rome, and to be tourists. And well, we had to present as university students on a specific subject at the time. And so this is us having dinner outside of the Colosseum one night. Well, us, but just me in the pictures. So this is the map of the Bahamas and their slogan, their tourism slogan, it's better in the Bahamas. This is downtown Nassau. And I just loved this because it's the map painted on a wall. It's such a cute little attraction people could get a quick picture by. and so you could see the entire layout. Of course, not the exact thing, but a nice layout of all the different islands in the Bahamas.
So, how many have you been to in terms of the islands?
I want to say 2, not counting Paradise Island because it's kind of connected to Nassau, but I've been to
All right.
Nassau and I've been to the Exumas.
All right. What
And
about the trip to Cuba?
right. So in UWI, you also studying tourism in UWI is such a fun thing to do because you also get to go on a class trip. So our class decided we wanted to go to Cuba, and I recommend if anybody has the opportunity to go take the trip. There's so much history, so much to learn, so much to see for yourself, and not just what you hear from people or see on the internet. And just give yourself that experience so you know what all the history is about and actually see it for yourself. We stayed maybe just about 4 or 5 days. We stayed in Havana, Cuba, and we also got the opportunity to drive to Pigs Bay and spend the day and relax and really be tourist in Cuba. It was a lovely trip and experience, and speaking to the locals, you really hear their side of the story, for lack of a better explanation of what we hear about Cuba, and we hear so many negative things. It's nice to hear a
Yeah.
different answer to the story. And so in 2019, I was living and working in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And I know a hot topic now is that La Soufrière in St. Vincent and the Grenadines has been
Yes.
growing a boom, and it's possibly about to explode. We don't know. But while I was there, I was given the
We hope not.
opportunity. Yeah, we do. Given the opportunity to hike to the top of La Soufrière. So this picture, what is behind me, is exactly where the domes would be now. And so I'm so happy I got to go before all of this action started. So I don't know if this is gonna get to play,
So,
but that was a video of me. Sorry, go ahead.
oh yeah, go ahead, go ahead. Sorry.
I don't know if that's gonna get to play, but it was a video of me cliff jumping into a cliff with a hole at the top, and we just kind of jumped into the ocean below, but it was a cliff inside, a big cave.
So guys, I know the questions are the question thus far, and learning about your experiences is really fun in terms of you swimming with sharks and swimming with dolphins, and I would like to explain the dolphins, not the sharks. But yeah, but now to move on to kind of ease the occasion a bit. I will hand you over to Carissa, who will have a little game for us to engage in. So Carissa.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I'm here. Good night, Stephanie. Hi again. I hope all is well.
Yeah.
So this is just a little game, just to test your knowledge, on Bahamas again, right? So yes. Okay. Okay, so you're seeing question 1, right?
Yes.
All right. Okay. So this few questions that we are dealing with is mostly on Trinidad. Of course, we are speaking on our local, right? So I had to bring in Trinidad here, but I promise you the rest of them, it is based on Bahamas, right? So question 1, it says the white color of the national flag symbolizes what? Seeing the list of questions here. I mean, the list of options here. What do you think?
I want to say D, water.
Oh my goodness. Yes. It is right. A little story actually, and people don't laugh at me, but when I actually took the quiz online, I was like, what? It was water. Actually, like I doubted myself and I thought it was greatness, but oh my goodness.
I know it stands things like the people, the water, and the land, if I'm not mistaken, or what our 3 colors represent.
Right. Yeah. Question 2. So it says the largest city in Trinidad and Tobago is, and realize they said Trinidad and Tobago. So yeah.
Is that a hint?
No, that could actually be a trick question, but
okay. Go ahead. I want to say C, Chagonas.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. Yes, it is. It is. It is. I thought that little Trinidad and Tobago would twist things off there. Oh, okay. So, what is the official language in Trinidad and Tobago? This is easy. Go ahead.
Huh. C and D. I will go with C though, Trinidadian English. But I'm
Nope.
saying
This
A,
one.
English.
Yeah. Yeah. It is
Good one.
English for
That's a good
sure.
one.
Oh my God. Okay. And what's the most popular religion in Trinidad and Tobago? What do you think is the most popular religion?
I am going to go with C, Christianity, just because it involves so many different religions.
Yeah.
And I know, okay, yeah?
Yeah, that
Okay.
is sure. But yeah, what you were saying, because when I took the quiz, that was my initial the first thing that came to mind, because I was like, there's a lot of religions that fall under Christianity, and I honestly thought it was Hindu, but as you said, yeah, that's the first thing that came to mind. A lot of
Yeah,
religions fall under Christianity,
good
so that has
guess.
to definitely be it. Okay, so this is the last question. Well, in this category, dealing with our country.
Right.
So Trinidad and Tobago obtained independence in what year?
C, 1962.
Yes, yes.
I
You should have
will
done this for free.
even though I know the answers, because I'm just like, what if I embarrass myself? These are things I should know.
No, don't worry. No. It's good. So come travel with me. We're taking a little tour to Bahamas, okay?
Right.
Yes. So this is know that currency. So you have a choice to choose. Okay, I can't really give you the answer. Okay, so just go to the slide. Which country currency is shown above? So just tell me, what do you think this currency is?
Definitely Bahamas. From the pineapple to the coat of arms to the 10 cents with the curly.
Yes,
Oh,
yes. I was like,
so
oh my goodness,
come.
how am I going to hide this? Yeah,
That was
yes,
the
it
easy
is.
one. I could also spot that coat of arms.
From so true. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I tried to hide it. I really tried.
So
You can guess this one?
yes, so definitely this is the Bahamas
And
dollar. I want to say the $1 might be an old version of it. I'm not sure
yeah,
because all of it
mhm,
is pretty colorful, like the $20 bill on the right hand side.
yeah. That's why I tried to like give a little mix. Yeah. It was really like just to trick you
Yeah.
and just slowly. Yeah. Okay, so so what currency is this one? You know, I had to bring a little trick in between, a little something there.
Bank of England, the
Yeah.
Queen.
Yeah.
I'm only gonna be able to guess Bahamas, considering that that's what we're talking about, but I could be very wrong as well. If this
No, actually, you
is
are right with the first guess. Good thing you went with the guts. Yes, it is England. It is the English $5.
okay.
I had to bring a little trick, a little something,
Yeah.
But I really tried in hiding, the little pound sign and whatnot. Yeah. So okay, guess this coin.
I'm going to say England because of the pence.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Like the thing about it is, like most people wouldn't realize, like when you say pens, they wouldn't know if it's like London or what country it basically belong to.
Yeah.
So just tried. I tried.
Try, but I've been there, so they
Yes.
say pence a lot. So when you hear it there, you realize. But yeah, otherwise, I agree. No, it's not an easy giveaway.
Okay, so we gotta go with know that flag. Don't
Okay, I like
worry,
this
it's only like
already.
one question. One
Okay.
question in this, okay?
Yeah.
And I tried with the symbols, right? So realize that I labeled the left and the right, right?
Uh-huh.
So, okay, give me a best shot. which country do you think is on the left?
Bahamas.
On the right.
St. Lucia.
Of course.
I know my
We should have
regional
like a song.
Good one though.
Oh my god. Yeah, yeah.
Honestly,
I enjoyed
not-
this. I enjoyed this segment with you.
Yeah.
Huh?
Sure. I said honestly, if you're not seeing the whole flag and the color at a glimpse, it's an easy kind of mix up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's exactly why I tried to do it like that. Oh my
I know.
goodness. Thank you so much for taking your
welcome.
time to participate
Questions.
in this little segment, you know. It was really enjoyable, and even for our audience, our members, you know, really thank you for even being here as well to even to stay for the game segment and the rest of this program, right? So I turn over to you, Alex.
Thank you, Carissa.
Um,
Bye.
that game was really interesting though. Like, I enjoyed myself in the background. I was actually trying to answer as well. And those pens, the British money and the pens and thing, that bring back some memories to me, guys. If you, I don't know, I'm just trying to reminisce right now, and it's really going good. So, uh, let's get back into it, right? Since that you know, I don't know, like the Bahamas. I don't know the Bahamas. Their currency is one of the best currencies, but like wow, it looks really great. Um, yeah. So it's trying to get into your profession in a sense and what you do with your business Spur consulting right. So can you give can you give any advice to small businesses in Trinidad and Tobago in terms of customer service in particular? Yeah.
Especially for small businesses, I would say you cannot treat your employees or the persons that are dealing with your customers, and they cannot treat your customers right if they don't feel accepted and valued in the environment. So you don't want to have somebody coming to work somewhere where they feel is a toxic environment and they may be unhappy to work because they're going to show their customers that. They may even openly complain to their customers of about how dissatisfied they are about where they work, and you never want that because that's just going to turn off customers. So I think especially for small businesses, the first thing they want to do is make sure that your employees are happy. It's not an easy task because people are demanding, people are sometimes difficult to please. However, you know, once their basic needs are met and you know it's a polite, friendly environment, that energy, those good vibrations are going to be shown to the customers and they're going to enjoy coming to your place because they feel at home, they feel part of a family. And it's kind of easier for smaller businesses because it's not this large network of persons that you have to take care of. It's just these few persons who you can really ensure has a good rhythm and a good rapport going on, and your customers will know. Your customers will know when your workers are happy and that they mesh well with each other. So it's important to have a team that works well together and mesh. I can't hear you.
Sorry about that. That's one of the thing of virtual meetings now. Like we sometimes forget that our mic is off, right? So yeah, I know you have a presentation, so I would allow you to share it. But in the meantime, let's answer this question while you're sharing it, right?
Sure.
I know some people some persons actually highlight certain businesses, like some fast food businesses or some cosmetic businesses, and say the customer service is really bad. What advice do you have to what redress in terms of like when we get bad customer service, what redress should consumers do, or what do you go about doing in order to get redress in some of the matters?
The consumers have so much power, and it's important to voice your opinion. The company needs the feedback. I mean, people have their own way of dealing with things, but it's always nice to report it to the company and let them know that you're having an issue, and they can then take that, internalize it within the organization, and hopefully do better next time. if you don't say anything and you just go on Facebook or you just go to your friends and the message is spreading, but that company is not getting the opportunity to learn or grow from that experience. And the bosses may not even know that they're having that issue is happening. They may just realize, I'm losing customers. Now, if it's a small company where you're just dealing with the owner, it may not always be easy. Some people are not good with the negative or criticisms on a whole, but criticism isn't always a bad thing. So I would say go ahead and talk to whoever you're having the issue with, talk to their superior if it's really something that you think needs their attention, needs to be brought to. And if then you still feel the need to vent and go on Facebook and whatever, it is what it is, but definitely give that company the opportunity to correct the situation and do better.
So I'll allow you to go into your presentation now. So let's go.
Right. So here's a little excerpt from Sper Consulting's customer service training that I'm going to do with you guys. It's a very short part, but I think it's a very important part for general knowledge for persons who may be in the industry. So first, let's talk about barriers to providing outstanding customer service to persons. And the first one is scripted communication. Now, this can be taken very literally, or we can talk about the fact that scripts are needed. Scripts are important because you want to ensure that your company has a very thought out narrative that's going out to the public. However, you do not want your employees to be on the phone or with somebody and literally you can hear them reading off of a script. You want to be able to have a conversation. So you want to ensure that your workers have enough training that they aren't so scared that they're like stuck to this script, and that they can use the script and evolve from it with using their own common sense and within staying the lines of what is approved by the company. So you just don't want to sound like a robot talking, because people want to feel that personal interaction when they're dealing, and they don't want to feel like they're talking to a robot.
I really glad that you touched on that point, because when I was employed with the ministry as a visitor guide,
Right.
we didn't have to sit behind a desk and use a phone. We had to actually speak to tourists, and we had to know before, expect certain questions and know the response, so it would not look like we are trying to guess, right?
Right.
So I'm really glad that you touched on that point. So when we answer them in a certain way, we know a response, and we can have a proper conversation, whether they want to know where this place is or not,
Right.
or why they can't go this way. Yeah.
Yes, it's very important, but you also want to ensure that you know that information from the company, but you don't want to sound like a robot, right? So the second one is one that's very, very important for the tourism sector. Lack of customer personal data, insufficient use of it. When someone comes to, especially a hotel that has hundreds to almost 1,000 rooms, and you go to that front desk and that person is able to say, hi, Mr. So-and-so, hi, Mrs. So-and-so, they sometimes are blown away to the fact that you know who they are. Now, if you're working on the front desk for long enough, you have this ability where you know who's coming in when and what day, who's going into what room. So once they come to the front desk and they give that number, you're able to just pick up on that and keep going. And I promise you, it adds to their vacation every single time. And that personal touch just makes people feel welcome and wanted, especially here in the Caribbean, because they come to the Caribbean because not just for the warmth of the place, but the warmth of the people. And they know that you're dealing with hundreds of persons on a daily basis, and for you to remember their name makes them feel so important and makes them, relax more and feel like they're being well taken care of. So especially in the tourism sector, I know not everybody's name is easy, and we get a lot of European tourists down here in Trinidad and Tobago who may have names that are hard to pronounce, but try your best to learn the names and pronounce them properly, or even ask them how they would like it pronounced, and ensure to use persons' names when you're addressing them. So the next one will be low first contact resolution rates, and that is if somebody's having an issue and they have to call you back 2 and 3 and 4 times just to get this issue finished. That's so irritating, and I'm sure we've all been in a situation, whether it's the bank or a problem you've had with a store or a service, that you've had to go back and forth with them. try your best. And if you know that you've taken the complaint and you can't directly deal with it, it's okay to rely on your team and tell that person, I'm going to put you on to my colleague, John, because he will be the best person. He's better equipped to deal with this situation. So just ensure that they can get it done quickly. And even if you think that the issue is going to take a while, have that conversation with the customer. Don't ever have them wondering, guessing what's going on. Just keep them updated. And even if they're getting frustrated, at least they know, okay, an end is coming there. Something, the company is having an issue, so they know what to expect and what they're dealing with. Indifference literally is exactly what it is. Show that you're happy, you're welcome to be there, you're happy to be there at work. They're not just another person, another customer at the end of the day, and you're frustrated to deal with them. No, show that you're somebody important, that they are somebody important, and you're happy and willing to work with them. Inattention, of course, we've all had the issue where we go into somewhere and you're literally staring at people and they're just watching you and nobody's taking you on, or they're on their phones, or they're doing something on a computer. No, when somebody walks in, you stop what you're doing, you greet them, you deal with them. And then after, if they say, no, I'm just looking, or no, I don't need help, I'm here waiting on so and so, you can do what you can to quicken up their process and then go back to what you're doing. You don't do like, well, I'm doing something, so they're going to have to wait. No, it's the service industry. And unfortunately, you're here to serve at the end of the day. So what you're doing can wait, even though it's very important. It will take you 2 minutes to just stop and talk and have that conversation with the customer. Lack of commitment. Oh, yes, so Mr. So-and-so, I'll do that for you now. And you go off and you forget about it. And hours later, they're calling you back, wondering, where are you? What happened with my drink or my glass of whatever, if it's a hotel? And that just they're sitting waiting, expecting, and some people, depending on the person, may not go and do something else they had planned because they're thinking they're sitting and waiting for you to come back. So you really want to be sure to remember. If you bad at remembering, write it down, just to be ensure that you always close transactions, always close off people's requests, and try your best not to forget them. Poor teamwork. Teamwork is a big part of any company working in tourism, you name it. It's okay to rely on your team. It's not a one-man show, nor will it ever be. And it's okay to say, I'm doing something for somebody, but somebody else needs something. Can you help me? Or I know I'm not that strong at that, but this person is having a complaint. Go to your manager. Can you help me? Or can you give me advice? Can you come with me? Can you advise me on the best person to ask for this situation? Whatever the case may be, don't feel like the world is on your shoulders. And I know when stuff get busy in a hotel, it's hard to find somebody who's willing and able, maybe, or who has the time to help you. But it's okay to ask questions. Never feel like you don't know, so I'm not going to do. Overworking. While, yes, we work long hours, especially in the tourism industry, be sure to get your rest. Be sure that you're not coming to work cranky and groggy and it's just like, it's because I'm overworked. No, you need to make sure and have that downtime, because it's going to show to the customers, it's going to show to the guests, whether it's that you look physically tired or whether it's that you're just angry and groggy for no good reason other than you're just so overworked. You need to take care of yourself. Delayed responses, I may have touched on that a little bit earlier, but yes, we will get that done for you, and 2 days pass and the customer has to call back to find out what's going on with so-and-so. And it's not that you're not working on it or doing it, but it's just that you haven't let them know that that's what you're doing, so they don't know, and they just getting annoyed waiting, thinking nothing is happening. The last one is very important because, of course, again, I'm going to reference tourism. You're going to be dealing with persons from all around the world. And when I say language, I don't just mean what comes out of your mouth. I mean your body language. It's going to say a lot. And we need to remember that different things have different meanings in different parts of the world. So you may not even realize that you are being rude to somebody. But, just be on your best behavior, have your best body language. It's a professional setting. Keep that going. If you know that you get a lot of tourists from a certain area, certain country, research that area, research that country, their body language, YouTube a video, whatever it may be, if that's what you need to do to just help and make that experience better. It's a great thing to learn just in general for working in tourism as well. So I'm going to now go on to a couple of different type of customers that we have that we're going to deal with on a daily basis. These customers, of course, after years working in the service industry or the tourism industry, you'll be able to guess them off the bat and know how to deal with them. But there are some smaller tips and tricks on how you can deal with these persons just to alleviate the problem and try to close the issue as quickly and as best as possible. Right. So the first one is adapting to different, so we're going to talk now, as I said, about adapting to different behavior styles. And I gave each one a name, so it's kind of like a different persona, and I'll tell you how to deal with these persons. So the first one is aggressive Aaron, who gets angry quickly. He's going to be cursing, he might be very rude, and those persons are hardest to deal with because not everybody can deal with somebody cussing and shouting at them. I know that's not something I like to deal with. So what you want to do is remain calm. You getting angry and upset and shouting back is not going to help the situation. And at the end of the day, that customer is not going to get in trouble or possibly lose their job. It's you. So remember to stay calm. Of course, don't argue back. Always listen. These persons, you don't know what they're going through. And they don't know what you're going through, but at the end of the day, it's your job and it's your position and you're here to serve. So listen carefully. Give them that listening ear, and that's a big part of what they want. Once they know that that you're listening to them, tell them, of course, I understand what you're going through and how can I help you, but de-escalate as best as possible. Show them that you're listening, apologize, and let them go from that big angry monster that you first started dealing with, and let them come down a little bit to where you could have a very normal, professional conversation. The next person is talkative Tamara. They came in with one problem, but they've come in and listed 10 different things, and you're not sure what they're trying to get at. You're not sure what they're trying to tell you or what exactly the problem is sometimes, and you're just kind of like at a loss. And they're just going through different things and repeating themselves. Of course, again, listen carefully. Pull out what you think they're trying to say and paraphrase it in a way and ask them questions that are yes or no. So you can get straight to the point so you know what you're dealing with and what you have to do to fix the issue for them. And when you help her get to that point, politely say, okay, great, I can help you deal with that, no problem. And so now you're dealing with a list of 10 from a list of 10 issues to a list of 1 or 2 issues that you can actually work on and deal with and help them. So the next one is complaining Corey. We've all dealt with a complaining Corey. This is the person that nothing satisfies them. They're going to amplify even the smallest thing and just blow it out of proportion. And they're not an easy person to deal with, but we're going to have to deal with them anyway. Be attentive, listen to them. If you know they're a problem customer, and sometimes problem customers have a favorite place and they're going to keep coming into your establishment, even though they're a problem customer, give them a little bit more that attention and, let them know that they're welcomed and wanted and appreciated at your establishment, and that might help them to calm down as time goes by. Try to understand what they want, what they need at that time. Be empathetic. Again, we never know what persons are going through, and that's a big thing that I always push and tell people, and it will save you stressing yourself out when dealing with difficult persons in the industry. And apologize sincerely. Don't have a smile on your face. Don't be laughing. Don't make that person feel that you're just doing it to get rid of them or get over them and just deal with the situation. No, be as sincere as you possibly can. Have that conversation, de-escalate them again, and make sure that they want to come back to your establishment. Then we have the best deal, Betsy. They're going to complain about any and everything, even if it's nothing to be complaining about sometimes. And then they're immediately going to go to, what can I get? What discount can you give me for this? Because this is unsatisfactory, even if that's company policy, but it's unsatisfactory to her because she's looking for what she can get. That always happens. Listen to what they have to say because it may be a valid point that you can use to improve your company after. Assess the situation, and you have to make that call on whether, okay, yes, this is something that we need to deal with, and a compensation will be a good way to help the issue. Or if it's not something that you think that's a reasonable thing to offer compensation for, of course, you just explain calmly and carefully. Don't say, no, we're not giving you anything free, but no, of course, no, ma'am, that's actually company policy, and we're so sorry that it was unsatisfactory for you, but is there any other way that we can assist you to make your experience today better? Something. It doesn't always have to be monetary, and don't feel like you always have to give money or gift or some sort of incentive, because then people are gonna think they have the upper hand on you. No. And some people do know that the customer is always right, and I say that in inverted commas because that isn't always the case, and they try to push that too much. But as much as you want to provide great service and you want to make sure people are happy and welcome at your place, you do not want to be in a situation where people are taking advantage of you. So we're almost through. So let's go to vague val. They may say that they had a problem with the service, but do not give enough information, and you're not too sure what they're dealing with, but they have come with a complaint, so you need to get to the bottom of it. So again, you're going to ask very specific questions: day, time, what exactly happened. Try to get into the situation. Again, always listen. No matter who the customer is, you want to listen attentively so that you can fully understand what they're trying to say and give the best possible solution, and apologize sincerely. See if you can help them, see if you could improve it, see if you could improve their next time coming to your establishment, and ensure that things go properly, and just ensure that you're listening. And again, you can paraphrase what they're saying to just get to the point so you can alleviate the issue for them. Then we want to say the unresponsive Uriel. This is the person who has an issue, but they're not really here or there with following up or dealing or getting the issue sorted. But as a company, when it comes to customer service, you want to be sure that you always close every transaction. You want to be sure that you wrap up everything. You don't want to leave anything open-ended when it comes to complaints and issues like that. So check in to ensure that the person is unresponsive. If after you send multiple emails, call multiple times, don't be a pest, don't bother the person to the point that they're like, oh my God. But you just want to see, hi sir, we know that you had a complaint, we know that so and so happened last week. We just want to be sure that everything is okay, and how can we assist you, and how can we make your experience better for the next time. Send the email, ask, and if after all of that they say, no, it's fine, okay, no problem, okay, great. You've closed off the situation, at least you've tried. And if when you call them and they say, yeah, but I don't have the time now or whatever, you can work out a situation or a system where you can help that person. But you'd never want to leave things just open-ended and be like, well, he didn't come back, he didn't really complain, so I'm not stressing over that. No, because on his end, it may be a completely different story, and you don't know what he may be telling other people, giving yourself bad publicity. And then we have valid Veronica. This is the person who has a reason to complain and is very, very polite, and they don't ask for anything in return. They just want to let you know. And these are the persons that you want to show that you appreciate them, because they didn't have to come and tell you what their issue is. They didn't have to come and say so and so for you to know and for you to learn and grow from it. So this person, it'll be nice to send them, of course, apologize, and maybe send them a discount. These are the persons you want to send the discount or the gift to, because they didn't ask for anything in return, but they are helping you, especially if it's a situation where it's something that you didn't know was happening in your company, or it's something that you can fix, and now that you see a big problem that you can change. Thank you so much. Show your appreciation. Show that person that their feedback was welcome and it was used. And of course, they're going to want to come back and see the improvements, see what's changed, or just come back for the good service on a whole. And now I'm just going to give you some do's and don'ts of customer service. So do's. Come prepared with a positive attitude. As I say in customer service, you never know what that other person is going through. But we in the service industry, we're people as well. We're going through so many things at home, whether it's your sick child, a sick parent, so many other possible issues can be bothering you on a daily basis that can really cause you to not perform your best at work. I'm sorry, but in the service industry, try your best to, when you step into work, once you put on that uniform, when you put on that name tag, put yourself in a zone where you can detach from those issues, even if it's for those couple of hours, just to get through it. It's your job at the end of the day, and you don't want to bring your outside issues to the job because your customer does not care. There may be some who will be like, oh gosh, I'm so sorry, I understand, and there are others who are like, okay, you're here to serve me and I need something done. I don't really want to hear about what your issues are at home. Do the job to the best of your ability. You make a mistake, own up to it, apologize, deal with the issue, learn and grow as much as you possibly can. Bring your best attitude, your smile on your face, and that will make a big difference to your job on a daily basis. Respect your coworkers and be a team player. As I said earlier, your team is so important, and you don't want to be in somewhere where you don't feel welcomed, or you don't want to be on a team where you're made harder because so many different people aren't getting along, aren't fighting, or isn't an environment where you feel to try your best to, not have any risk with anybody. And it's just going to help you, your customers, and the company at the end of the day. So you want to ensure that you have a cohesive team. It's very important. And of course, act professionally at all times. At the end of the day, you're at a job. Yes, sometimes you work in a hotel and it feel like paradise. The tourists are having fun there, really laid back. And so you feel kind of laid back. All well and good, you're enjoying your job, which is great. However, you want to keep that professionalism at the highest level that you possibly can at all times. And the one don't that I will say that's so important is don't take it personally. They're going to be people that are going to be downright nasty to you. They're going to be issues that are gonna want to make you cry. You're going to freak out. You're going to have so many issues. Don't take it personally. Depending on your personality, it's very easy to take things personally versus other persons. And a large part of my training is getting people to understand themselves before they even go into the service industry, because understanding yourself will help you to understand how you react to different things. And you will, once you know yourself better, you can tell yourself, okay, this, calm down. This isn't as big as it seems. It will get better. But everybody deals with things differently. And the more you know yourself, the better you'll be able to perform. So that was the end of my slideshow there. And I hope it was a good general. I hope it was some general information that can help persons. I thought it was broad enough that it could work for tourism and not for tourism persons as well, without giving away too much. Of course, if you want to know more, just contact Sper Consulting to organize a training session.
So that presentation was very informative. Like you touched on the like, trust me, the amount, the different customers that you can expect, the different kind of attitudes, and they were on point. They were really on point. Even the good ones as well, right? Sometimes some people touch on the bad, and you even touch on the good ones and how to deal with them, and even deal with them and deal them better, improve the way you deal with your customers, right? So I will open the floor to members in the audience who want to ask any questions before I move on.
Okay.
Yes, Satish, go ahead.
All right. So, Stephanie, great presentation. It's actually the first time I've seen a presentation done so simple, so I can understand everything. So great job. I just want to say, I remember when we talked earlier on. You mentioned that a lot of the guests, when we look at if you're in a resort or in a guest house or wherever you may be, a lot of the time when guests travel, they travel for three reasons, right? You had mentioned that. Is it possible you can go through like those three reasons? Because I found it very helpful in understanding how our guests react and what to expect, as hospitality professionals.
Sure. So this is something that I learned while I was doing training in the butler category in Sandals, which would have been the first place that I got my training when I was at Sandals. And we had a lovely manager from Jamaica named Tamara, and every morning she would brief us before we went out and dealt with the guests. And before she walked out the door, she would always be sure to tell us, don't forget, people travel for three reasons. Either they're celebrating something, it's because they need a vacation, because life's hard, they're having issues, or they're trying to fix something, whether it's a marriage or just try to recuperate themselves in some way. And that has a big part to play in how people are going to behave and react to you on vacation, especially dealing with persons at a resort and all these things. if it's a wedding and it's their honeymoon or their anniversary and whatever, it's a happy occasion, they're less likely to nitpick on issues, and they're like, yes, okay, no problem. Like nothing's a problem because they're just there to have fun, relax, and spend time with their loved ones. Then there are persons who are coming because they're trying to mend their marriage or not have to go through a divorce. So they're trying to have fun, but there's kind of a rift. So they're not that great, or they're dealing with a death. So while they're there trying to have fun, they are still rigid, and they may be kind of rude. They may have bad interactions with the staff at the hotel. You never know. And then there are persons who are there because they're unhappy or just got divorced or whatever it is, and they're just angry. There's some people that come on vacation there in this beautiful hotel, yet they're still angry and they're still, hard to deal with. And those are the persons that you're gonna have to give that extra attention to. But it's always, you never know what people have come to your establishment for, to your resort for, unless you have the opportunity to have a conversation with them. So don't take things personally, and just give your best, and just know that people are coming for different reasons and they're going through different issues. So don't take things personally, and that should help you get through your day a little bit better when you just remind yourself of these things. Everybody's different.
Any other questions, guys? Feel free to ask. Well, since that there's no questions, right? So let me ask you, because your presentation was really on point. I must say, especially in the beginning, in terms of areas that we can focus on. Um, when I was working as a visitor guide, one thing I learned in terms of about the customers and dealing with the customers, right? Know your customer in a sense, that know their culture, because sometimes some cultures are so different and they will not react to the same, right? Because they what we might think it's cool, they might think it's rude, and what
Yeah.
they might think it's cool for them, we might think is rude. So explain more on that in terms of cultures and knowing your cultures, because there are some ethnicities that they are not that friendly, right? I wouldn't go into naming them because we're not trying to defame any ethnicity, because that's their culture and we need to be
Yes.
understanding, right? So go
Right.
into that a little bit.
Sure. So, of course, in tourism, your personal views can't be brought to the workplace. There are people from all across the world. They're going to live their life in different ways, and you're not going to be able to treat them differently because of what they do or how they do it. That's a very important point that I will put first. And you have to realize that there are things that are normal in our culture in the Caribbean that aren't normal. So you want to know your source markets. You're going to want to know what they're like, what their cultures are like, and to know what to avoid. And working in hotels, generally, people tell you, they know. After years of experience dealing with people, they find out if things aren't okay to say and do. I would also say generally in the Caribbean, we have a different culture to over there, especially when it comes to stuff like LGBTQ and all of these different things. And it's very important to hold your facial expression. Don't treat them any differently. These people are on vacation, they're having fun. And what your perception of what should and should not be done in life has no place in the workplace, has no place in a hotel where these people are coming to have fun and live their life, and they don't want to be judged. So, as much as you may have been brought up differently and in a different culture, be accepting, learn about different cultures, and don't judge. Don't laugh, don't whisper when you see people. Let them be, let them have fun. They're on vacation, and while it's different to you, it's also a learning experience for you.
Satisha, you have a question?
Yeah, so while on the topic of, culture and locals, right? So a lot of the times, we try to, I want to say, we want to get our locals more involved in tourism, So sometimes we might want to develop, in our locals. So we look at maybe giving them better developed sheds around the beaches. We invest in structures, stuff like that. But something we don't really look at too much is the customer side of it, customer service. So I have two views when it comes to that, right? One is I know a lot of persons when they come to the Caribbean, they want an authentic Caribbean experience. They want to
Mm-hmm.
come here, they want to go to the market, they want to hear the loud noise, they want to walk around, all the spices over there. And then we go with the impression that, we have to train these people to behave in a very proper way where, you go up to a counter, cash register there, and that's not necessarily what tourists want. They want to come to an area where they can see the spices and bags, they want to take the photos, right? So I want to know, in terms of when it comes to developing our locals and our local vendors, when it comes to customer service, do you think that there's a balance that we have to have when it comes to, letting them, we want them to have good customer service, yes, but at the same time, we also want to keep that authentic Caribbean experience you get when you go to these different areas.
Okay, very good question. I would say it's important that you always want to find the balance where that they're still getting professionalism while they are getting that authentic Caribbean experience. Because again, each traveler is different. They're different types of travelers. And of course, they're traveling for different reasons. So they're going to be persons who will take your authentic Caribbean behavior and think you're being rude and unprofessional, where the other people who are going to be like, oh, this is so fun, Trinidad, And so you never know who you're going to get. So what I would say is make sure that your staff are properly trained. They're not constantly on their phones. They're not stooping, rolling eyes. Body language is very important. And that's not what we want to give off as being the Caribbean experience anyways. And ensure that they know their products. They can talk about their products. They can go into details, maybe history of your company or the products, so that customers, your tourists and guests can learn from it. I think that's so important. People want to come, they want to know what you know about your country. What do you know about your products? Where has this come from? What's the history behind it? Have a conversation. So from that side, so always ensure that it's professional, yes, but there's a lot of knowledge and a bright smile, and the warmth is also what a lot of people come to our region for. So you want to be sure that that is forefront. That is something that people see as soon as they enter your establishment. They're not waiting for service. Again, people come from places that are coming to our country and our region on a whole from their custom to great customer service. So while some are like, oh yeah, it's just the Caribbean, we kind of expect this, like others who are like, we expect so much better, what is happening here? And then you end up with a bad rap or a bad name for your company or your country. So make sure it's professional, make sure people know what they're talking about, and still be warm and friendly and happy with their guests.
I see Sparkle have a question. Go ahead, Sparkle.
Hello, good night.
Hi.
Hello, Stephanie. So I'm Sparkle. So I'm asking a question here on behalf of one of our members, and Natalia. And Natalia is asking, well, she said you spoke about the training that you got in sandals, example, weddings and so on. And she'd like to know if it's possible if you can elaborate on the different departments that you worked at while at Sandals, and which department did you enjoy working in the most?
Okay, so I got a nice range of departments to work in. So I did butler, I did housekeeping. Well, not like actually like cleaning up anyway or anything, but I did get to learn about the back end of the hotel, which is so important because housekeeping has such a big part to play in the hotel. And you see the disconnect sometimes between the front desk and housekeeping. And you see how well the hotel works when everybody works cohesively. Again, the teamwork, but they really carry the hotel on their backs. Housekeeping is such an important part of it. I also worked in the bar for a short while when they were short-staffed a bit. They put some interns into the bar area, and I got to learn that. And it's fun dealing with the customers and the guests while they're drinking and having fun. You get into lovely conversations, and you learn a lot about people and where they come from. I also worked in the front desk. I worked in the butler department. I worked in sales and weddings, which would have been my last two departments before I left, and they were equally my favorite. They were both great. departments with very lovely managers. Both Sam from my wedding manager and Katanya, who was my sales manager, were like big sisters in the sense that they were so happy to train us. They ensured that we understood everything. They included us in meetings and trainings and different things. It wasn't like, oh, they're just interns, just give them something to do and keep them busy. No, we were a big part of everything. And they even, in weddings, we even got like a mock practice where we had to like plan a wedding on our own kind of thing, but with their help, and they would tell us the secrets and the behind the scenes of everything. So I really, really appreciated that. So I would say sales and weddings were my two favorite departments. And they probably were the two departments, that were aligned with my career goals, or that I think I learned the most from, that I would have held on to and used again in my life.
Sparkle, go ahead.
Okay, I just want to say thank you, and thank you so much for your contribution so far.
Thank you for having me, and thank you for the great question. You're welcome.
Oh, so guys, so coming to the end of this third episode of Let's Talk Tourism, brought to you by the UWI Tourism Society. I must thank Stephanie Pereira, and her business Sper Consulting, because trust me, this information is really vital for us in the tourism industry. And the tourism industry is so dynamic that you do a whole sort of guests, like from different countries, different cultures, different attitudes, different upbringing. So you have to know, you have to be really organized and ready. I see Satish have a question. Go ahead, Satish.
Yes, I'm so sorry to ask now, but Stephanie, I just wanted to know. I know you said that what you presented was a piece of a presentation, right? So it's something else that will continue on. Could you let us know how we can get more information about presentations? How we can find you, like your Instagram, LinkedIn, those kind of stuff?
Right. So on Instagram, LinkedIn, and Facebook, you could find me at spur.consulting. That's SPER. I also have a website which will be www.spurconsulting.com. You can go on there, you can book any of these services that you need. You can send me an email through there, or just send me an email at info@spurconsulting.com, and we'll be able to have a conversation. I'll know what exactly you need, what sort of industry, and I can tailor the training to the needs of your company. And I'll be happy to share what my knowledge with you guys, and I will know exactly how best I can help you. So just send me an email, a DM, however, and we can have a conversation. I would look forward to that.
And I will go even further, and we at the society will try our best to share it on our social media platforms. So, guys, members in the audience who want to get in contact, we will try to share it, so you can look at our social media platforms such as Instagram, LinkedIn, and Facebook as well. So you can look at those, and we will try our best to share it on our social media platforms, and even our personal platforms as well, because we try to do a lot of sharing of our personal platforms. So yeah, but Stephanie, this presentation was really good, and you are such an amazing person, eh? Like, just meeting you, like, wow, like you are such an amazing person, and you make people feel comfortable, which is something really vital in customer service, and understanding it and actually being a part of it. So thank you so much for this presentation.
You for those kind words.
It was really informing. So guys, thank you guys for joining us tonight, because without you, well, we didn't have an issue, and we are doing this to try to inform persons about the industry, because as our team for this semester, which is we start tourism, reimagine TNT, and we are trying to get that, and get children to be able to buy into this theme, because tourism, it's a really amazing industry. Guys, I don't know what it is to say, because trust me, I really love this industry. That's why I'm actually studying in the industry. So thank you, Ms. Pereira, and
Welcome.
we will see you for our next episode next Sunday, where you'll be duly informed on the topic as usual. So we'll see you next Sunday, guys. Good night.
Bye. Thank you.